If you haven't heard about Anchor, it's the easiest way to make a podcast. Let me explain. You can make money from your podcast with no minimum listenership. In addition to that, Anchor will distribute your podcast for you, so it can be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and many other platforms. Why not check it out today? Download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started. Good morning, good day, good afternoon, good evening. It's Miss Lexis. Time to win with Miss Lexis today. So, I just want to talk about one word. This one word is a reflection of our character. This one word can change our life. This one word, you've read in the title, attitude. Pretty much, it's a mental outlook. And there's literally like 54 other words that can describe the word attitude. So if it's that many additional words to describe this one word, and it all has to do with the mind, it's amazing how when you get your attitude right, your life changes. All right, so I'm going to go through the list and just think about yourself, like literally. The word attitude, again, is mental outlook, and it's pretty much a position. It's like a stance. And excuse if you hear my little one, she's doing her thing right now. But I just had to share this because I realized when I adjust my attitude, my day changes. Like, somebody can make me really frustrated. Somebody can really annoy me. And that can really change my day. But if I look at that moment that irritated me, identify what's going on, figure out why that could be happening, or just, stay there for a little bit and then just erase it. Like, use it like an eraser in my brain. Like, okay, I was not, moved, or my day was okay. My attitude, my mind was in a great place. But, all right, I'll go there in a minute. But let me go down this list. So, other words for attitude: approach, belief, bias, character, demeanor, mindset, mood, notion, opinion, perspective, philosophy, point of view. I know that's 3 words, but it still shows the power of attitude. We also have position, posture, prejudice, reaction, sensibility, sentiment, stance, stand, temperament, view. Now, we also have different, that was not all of the 54, but that was some. This is just for the word attitude. This is not even using it in multiples, like, using it as an attitudes. This is just attitude. So we have air, angle, bent, disposition, headset, inclination. These are actually, the more that I look at that, these are basically more of how the mind positions itself is a reflection of attitude, if that makes sense. So let me continue with that list. I think I was at leaning, proclivity. I can't pronounce that word. I'm sorry. Routine, set, slant, standing, standpoint, temper, twist, statements. No, statements is not one, but statements is the following: frame of mind, like it is, mental state, mind trip, say so, where one is at. And it amazes me how we don't really understand how our attitude is everything. It sounds so cliche-ish because we all grew up saying, oh, you need to get your attitude together, fix your attitude. Our parents were onto something, because if you have a negative attitude throughout your whole day, you have a negative day. Like, you have wasted 24 hours being in a bad place because of something. And instead of having self-control to adjust your attitude, it's like we choose to say, you know what, today's a bad day. Let's keep it a bad day. Let's not get anything accomplished, which then adds into an addition of wasting time, because we choose to stay stuck. Your attitude is a part of who you are. So, of course, attitude does not necessarily always have to be negative. Let's put it that way, because I know for me, anytime my attitude is identified, it's when someone is bringing to my attention, what's wrong with you? Do you have an attitude? An attitude does not have to be negative. It can be a positive mindset if you choose to make it a positive mindset. As in, when you start looking at the word attitude outside of a negative format, and you start looking at it as a posture, as a position, as a point of view, as a philosophy, as a perspective. I know me personally, I don't want to be that person that's like, oh yeah, she had an attitude. Oh yeah, her attitude sucks. I don't want to be in her presence, because her point of view is not positive. See, we can turn the word attitude and actions that are usually projected in a negative format into a positive position, because technically your attitude is a reflection of where your emotions are at, and it's also a reflection of your character. Because if we can erase the word attitude and use the same sentence with the word belief, with the word character, with the word demeanor, with the word mindset, that means your attitude has to be adjusted on a daily basis. And as I'm learning this more and more, I'm experiencing more peace. I'm experiencing more growth. I'm experiencing more stability in my mind, because if I don't have stability in my mind, I'm not going to have stability in my day-to-day activity. Because remember, the way that you carry yourself, the way that you walk, the way that you talk is a reflection of your mind. And one of the biggest things that leak out from our mind is our character, which is a reflection of our attitude. So, looking in the mirror, looking at self, this is not to adjust anybody else's attitude, because we as people, we always deem it necessary to try to understand the mind of someone else instead of looking at the mind of ourselves, which then leaves us in a place of judgment versus, well, not judgment, but leaves us in a place of judging someone, when we need to just identify how we gonna work out, how we're gonna figure ourselves out, how we're gonna handle our day. Just because somebody else is cranky doesn't mean you have to, I guess, attach yourself to their crankiness, so then therefore you're now cranky. Of course, I'm a spiritual person, and I believe in spiritual, warfare. I believe in spiritual attacks. I believe in demonic spirits. I believe in those things. Yet, however, I feel that even within the believing of those things and knowing that they can transfer and different things, I've also been taught with learning that I can resist it. So, in order for me to resist something, I can't attach myself to it. I have to say, you know what? All right, that's their point of view. But my point of view is going to stay in a positive position. I know it's a lot of words, but it was like this has been on my spirit so heavy because as I experience these adjustments, as I experience these growths, as I've shared with you in my titles before, like I want everybody to win with Lex. That's the whole point. So I hope this helps somebody today, that nobody can take or give to your attitude. That is something that you totally have control over. So when you walk into a position of where you're like, all right, am I going to be in a negative attitude or am I going to be in a positive attitude? Because whichever way I decide to stand in, whether it hurts or not, I am the one that's going to have to live the rest of my day out. And I know that as I'm growing, I have goals. I can't stay in a bad place. All right, figure out what's wrong with me. Figure out why I got an attitude. Figure out what's pushing my buttons the wrong way. And it's time to carry on. Like, I can't just sit there and be mad all day. Why? I'm wasting time now. And the very thing that I don't like to give credit to is the enemy. And now I'm allowing him to win because not only am I staying in a bad place, I'm also now adding to the problem. As I stated earlier, I'm wasting time. And time is now costing me money because as we've learned, or as we're learning, that time is definitely a waste of, well, I should say a waste of time is definitely a reflection of a waste of money. And don't nobody like their money being messed with. So if you're choosing to stay in a bad mindset just because somebody else in a bad mindset, wow, you're starting to lose your own battle just right there. So, I keep saying I'm gonna do a series or I'm thinking of different things, but I have so much going on, and that doesn't make an excuse for what I'm presently doing far as my podcast, because I feel that it's a lot of angry people out here. It's a lot of hurt people. And I feel that hurt is a reflection of anger too. And it's hard to adjust your attitude when you haven't healed. But how long do you want to stay in an unhealed position? That's like having a scab on your body forever. Like, yuck. Don't you want to get that under control? Don't you want to position yourself, have great posture, just make your opinion count? Nobody wants to deal with a person that's out of control. I don't have my Bible in front of me, but there's such a scripture that's similar to where it talks about a person out of control is like a house with no walls. So that's not a house. If you don't have any walls, nothing containing that personal space, then you don't have a house. And I'm like, if you can't control your mind, if you can't get yourself under control to the point of where you can calm down when you realize, all right, I'm just in my feelings, I'm just blown. Like my honey always tells me, like, you can't be operating off of emotions. You have to operate off of logic. And I'm a female, so there's sometimes, I'm going to get emotional. But the point behind sharing that is it's true. You can't stay there. And just because you don't like somebody else's attitude or you don't like your attitude at the moment, okay, take a moment of silence for self and be like, all right, let me tighten up. Because I got more riding on this day than being in a bad mood. I got more riding on this day than how I feel right now. I have more riding on my life than missing out on an opportunity today that could change my life. So I didn't want to talk this long. I said this was really going to be like an 8-minute message, but I just hope that somebody, gets out of this what I got out of it. Like, as the, Spirit was ministering to me, it's like attitude is everything, man. Attitude can change your outlook. Attitude can change your day. Attitude can change your pockets. An attitude is something that only you can have control over, self-wise. Now, if it's a spiritual attack that's going on, okay, now you got to call on the Holy Spirit. 9 times out of 10, you are going to have to pray to adjust your attitude, because sometimes we can't control those things, but we have to know how to get out of it. We're responsible for our life. And if we want better results and we really want to win, all right, it's time to get our mind under control. And I'm like, I think over the next couple of weeks, I'm going to just start talking more about how to have mental self-control. Because, self-control is mental. But, all right, I'm still talking and I'm about to be done talking. So just take a look at your mental outlook, which is your attitude. And hopefully, today can be a great day on purpose, as I always say. Good day.